We are back after the break, ladies and gentlemen. It is still time to show you guys 3 games, and we're kicking things off here with BTG against CE, which is, according to our schedule, not supposed to happen right now, but are we skipping one series or what's going on?
It's supposed to happen after the A-Team KT, so I don't know what's happened to RPG versus Team Nut, but we might see that later on. We'll have to find out.
Are we going to complain, though, to cast BTG versus CE earlier, Tetcher?
Okay, apparently the schedule I am looking at has been amended, and it looks like RPG Team Nut is coming up next after this. What is Yidao doing?
Yidao, man, I just love this guy. I wish I could hear and understand what he's saying all the time.
Absolutely agree. He is just awesome. But, ladies and gentlemen, like Kendrick said, we are not complaining about getting to cast this game next. CE versus Beyond the Game is the next series coming up. Beyond the Game suffered an 0-2 loss to RPG earlier on, and this might be CE's time to capitalize.
All right, this time indeed, it might be the moment for CE to bounce back. We mentioned this earlier before, ladies and gentlemen. The last time these two teams faced one another, it's actually not that long ago, but we all remember it very, very well. It was 2 consecutive perfect games. BTG absolutely dismantled CE. But ever since then, a lot has happened with especially this team here losing a lot of its grace.
Yeah, they suddenly started having a lot of rough games in a row, whereas CE, after their role swap, have suddenly started playing really, really well. And this could be a situation where they might be able to suddenly show up and get some just brutal victories if they are able to capitalize on this weakened BTG. Because once again, BTG, they've come off of an 0-2 versus RPG. They came off of a 1-1 versus Team Nut. Other than that, they're really struggling.
And honestly, Tetcher, I gotta give it to all those quote-unquote liability players today. I mean, we've seen Pa earlier for RPG do great things on that Phoenix. We've seen XTQ for CE stepping it up tremendously. So I think after that initial, getting used to HGC phase last week maybe, they're finally stepping it up and showing us how comfortable they can feel as we see the 2 key players here dancing second in the overall KDA standings, and Alufal climbing slowly but surely and coming after dancing.
Yes, he is. Now remember, BTG currently sit in first place in the table, even with their victories earlier. And they have decided to already mix it up. They are taking CE to Brax's holdout. Now, this is important because remember, BTG, any map they can win is important because the One are closing in on them and the One still have to play today. So, and right now, with the One only 1 point behind BTG, they really want to score a 2-0 to create some space. Whereas CE, if they score a 2-0, they will become tied with the One in second place and 1 point behind Beyond the Game.
Beyond the Game are making things very, very spicy here today. They are going and taking us to Brax's holdout indeed. We're talking about it only in that last previous series. We were saying, Tetcher, you know what? Haven't really seen a lot of Braxes this time around, have we? And already BTG, whether it is just sheer coincidence or some telepathy going on here between Europe and China, they're actually granting us the wish here. Now, do you think that is just here like a random choice to confuse CE, or do you think they have something special prepared to us?
I hope they have something special
so too.
prepared. That would be my theory. This, in theory, could actually be a pretty decent Zarya map. But they're going to start off with a nice and standard Reina Deckard. Very sensible as well. They want to limit the hero pool of XTQ, who is a very big, who is kind of newer to his role. There's a lot of laughter currently happening from the BTG side. So I hope they do have something planned because it looks like they do.
I mean, when you see players this happy, it could be both great, but also a little scary, because on the one hand, you could be like, hey, Team Spirit is great. You know, they just lost their first series, but they're not letting themselves get dragged down by it. Or it might be more of those gigglings and, you know what, let's just have fun. We already lost the series. Let's just try to cheese out our second series here for the day. on the other hand, if you look at Jui's face here, for example, on the side of CE, they're dead serious, man. No smiles, just pure focus.
This match does mean a lot to them. They do need a victory. We're going to see a Hanzo ban here. Once again, focusing the hero pool of a Lufel here. He could play the Phoenix. This is fine. And with Thrall available as well, CE still have a pretty reasonable setup. We're unlikely to see a Sylvanas from CE, as their Sylvanas player is now their tank. So, no that at least.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say no to it right at the get-go. We've seen it in China in the past, but yeah, chances are very, very slim. Sylvanas is probably one of the most bottom tier heroes at the moment that we have. Yeah. Still hoping for a rework every now and then.
Very nice.
Yeah, that is just looking really solid.
Blaze is a solid top laner, as is Thrall. Both can cover that, so they can rotate effectively. The Thrall is once again limiting the hero pool of CE. BTG, this is a very impressive draft, tailor-made to try and limit the capabilities of CE. Here comes the Malfurion for 365, and Kel'Thuzad coming in from Challenge. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That is crazy, Tetra. I can't believe I can't. Okay, so Kel'Thuzad, we haven't seen him in quite some time, right? However, this is a good map for him. Why is it a good map for Kel'Thuzad? Because he's stuck in a lane for a quite long time without really much of ganking potential, right? You don't have to worry about, getting flanked, getting ganked all the time. You can just spend some quality time in lane with your team buddies around you and stack up your quest.
Oh, man. A Lufel giving us the Kel'Thuzad. I'm shocked, for starters. This is going to be our first cast of Kel'Thuzad since his changes.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see how well this works for them. A Q build, in theory, could be incredibly effective at wave clear on the objective.
Tetra, have you spent some time on Reddit again?
I mean, I saw the video a while ago in like a Hot Funny Moments.
Oh, okay, good. I was just checking.
So yeah, a Q build could work out here.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, Q build is always one of those, or has always been one of those builds that has been a little bit underappreciated, I think. But as you mentioned, the cooldown reduction, the extra damage, all those tools can be very lethal indeed.
All right, well, this is certainly an interesting start.
Wow.
This is the kind of thing that Zhuyu would usually be the player playing for his team. And remember, CE have a coach. So they have managed to sneak this in with the blessings of Seron here. As we are heading into game number 1. It is going to be Beyond the Game versus CE. And CE bringing out the Kel'Thuzad and looking to shut it down. Beyond the Game are our team on the left-hand side with 619, LLK, Druid, Dancing, and Loktar.
And facing them is CE, fielding none other than the Archlich of Naxxrama's Kel'Thuzad, Alufal, XTQ, 365, KTY, and Zhuyu. Now, how are we going to see the lanes being spread out here? The common meta that we see here by the Tetra, Q build, the Plague Lands.
Excellent. Coming in here so they can try and get crazy poke, decent wave clear if they get that potential. KTY is spotted. Immediate crowd control. Good borrow. An immediate root from Kel'Thuzad. KTY is dropped. Can they get the counter kill? Focusing onto LLK. Where's the chains? Not enough. Lufel's already used all his CC. And that is first blood going over to BTG.
Oh man, that was as close as it could have been here. If KTY just gets into that bush a tiny second earlier, then he's actually not gonna get ganged. He can drop a tongue, and all of a sudden it will be CE with a major lead in that team fight. But as it is, KTY stepping in there a little too late. BTG was too quick there, and already they're trying to repeat things here again against KTY. This time the burrow is good though. Thrall almost getting caught here. Gets rooted actually by 365.
LLK again dropped low, again survives. Dahaka finally going to rotate up to top lane. He is sick and tired of being ganked. Who has held down the lane in the meantime, but that is a nice XP lead right now. Coming in for BTG, 619. is having to top up Zhuyu, who's eating a lot of harassment. Alufal, though, is gaining quite a lot of blight stacks.
Alrighty then. So I was going to say, those moments are kind of terrible for KTY because he's getting bullied and pummeled all the time. But these moments are actually great for Alufal on Kel'Thuzad, as you said, because with all those members stacked up and clumped up to get down to Haka, he can actually land his abilities on multiple targets at the same time. Unfortunately, we don't see the stacks currently on his Masters of the Cold Dark, but I'm pretty sure he's already close to 10.
Tackle comes in, but that's going to be one of the main crowd control choices. XDQ dodges the route. Where's the teleport? It's not available. I assume it was interrupted on the immediate part of the cast. And another kill comes in for BTG. Great aggressive play here on Brax's holdout.
Absolutely true, and they're kind of, you know, we're like, okay, LLK, make it 3. Dodges with great ease. The roots, though, zone him out.
Here comes Zhuyu.
Oh, no
Stormbolt misses. He's dodging everything.
Way.
He's a god. He makes it out. LLK. What a legendary escape.
LLK, you better call your guardian angel there, because true, your skill was amazing, but there was no way I saw him survive that. The Juke Master of China has arrived. Oh my goodness, CE, they must feel so frustrated right now.
I can't blame them. They are getting outplayed at every turn. The phylactery of Kel'Thuzad comes in for Alufal, giving him at least a little bit of more self-sustain. Dahaka, he desperately wants stacks. He's hovering down in bot lane. Anub was coming in, seeing if he could get that wraparound onto Dahaka, but KTY has learned his lesson and is playing safe.
Alrighty down, let's calm ourselves down here a little bit. So much action happening on this Brax's holdout match already. I am loving it. And with that Anub'arak in Tau, they can basically use those beetles and those minions to intercept those tower shots. They can apply a little bit of extra damage onto it. Nice 2 additional stacks here for Alufal, but that is really all that matters for C right now. They're struggling a little bit, but I think with the team comp they chose, they are struggling. They were supposed to struggle in the early game a little bit. KTY, though, good healing.
Death and Decay was pretty on point. Druid pressured, but survives. Zhuyu dropping low. He will probably need to back up. He does. Dwarf tosses out, baits them in as XTQ wraps around, but KTY is dropping too low, and this flank is not going to work due to the low health numbers. KTY will escape, but again, the gank is a failure. Chains.
Yep. Now we have the Pillar of Ice in there. We have an additional way to actually find those kills or find those stacks for Alufal.
KTY is having a shocker of a game at this point, being targeted once again. Now XDQ being focused down, gets the teleport this time though, and will be able to escape. More blight acquired for Alufal in that chase as well. Locktar somehow gets the stun onto Zhuyu, bouncing off the wall there. Impale interrupts the dwarf toss. Zhuyu dropping low. Chains not enough to save him. It is 3 kills to 0 in favor of Beyond the Game.
And we keep highlighting Alufal and how many stacks he's about to get. He's already at 28, almost fully completed Master of the Cold Dark. We're going to see some extra damage come in very, very quickly. But yeah, he's also getting phylactery stacks, obviously, for additional... excuse me, for that panic button that allows him to release or revive again. Also that 10% spell damage healing can be really, really crucial. But they must make sure that they do not lose structures before that mid-late game has even settled in.
Remember, 75% bonus spell power if Kel'Thuzad can finish stacking. He is so close at this point. Zhuyu continues to delay and deny this BTG turn-in. XDQ dodges the stun. He's going to be able to teleport away. CE will back up. They're playing the map well enough. They're going to hit level 7 very quickly. They've actually put a lot of pressure onto Thrall, forcing him to back up a bit. But now, they're actually... Look at the positioning of BTG. They would love to grab Dahaka again here. They're going to land... No, they won't land the route. Nice burrow. But with Dark Swarm already used, he can't sneak through all these enemies. And he is actually slow from Phoenix. Here's the turnaround play coming in. Could this be their first kill? Yes, it is. Arsenal Synergy by XDQ as they chase forward. As also the Master of the Cold Dark is online. They chase down Locktar. Zhuyu is so low, but it's enough. Getting 1, getting 2, looking for the 3rd. And they get it. And CE is online.
Welcome to KT Land, ladies and gentlemen. That is when Alufal is finally starting to melt things. Well, maybe not melt things. Actually, he's going to put them into a nice fridge. With Accelerated Decay coming into this play now, as well as you said, Tetcher, we see the 20% periodic damage increase. So sick right now. I'm loving where this is going. Alufo landing another chain here. It still remains on a noob rack, putting him into a precarious situation right now.
Isn't this 75% damage increase on the new Master of the Cold Dark?
Oh, I was talking about Accelerated Decay.
Oh, yeah. So 20% more periodic damage, 75% bonus ability power now that he is fully stacked. Alufo is now fully terrifying. Nax is out, boys. Chain does not land on us.
Nax from us is indeed out, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like Brax's holdout is becoming the new playground for Kel'Thuzad. All right. KTY, man, over and over. They're trying to gank the dinosaur, but he proves to be so elusive right now.
We're going to see this top lane getting pushed in aggressively. CE, though, now going to back up. They've already got what they need to.
Now, what are we going to see at level 10 here, by the way? It has to be the Dark Fissure, right? Or the Shadow Fissure. I can't see a world in which Frost Blast is going to give them value, although it could maybe, you know, siege up here, lay the path for a nice Death and Decay.
That was a clutch new habits by Lockdown, allowing him to escape there, saving his life. And we're going to see CE. They're finally going to start to catch up. Here comes the Dwarf Toss from Zhuyu. He escapes, chains landed, more damage is applied. Not a huge amount, though. And here comes level 10 Planet Cracker as an anti-Zerg tools, which means this is why I could see the Frost Blast. Frost Blast into Planet Cracker, the dream. Come on,
we may dream, Tetra. We've seen crazy things in China, but this would be next level madness.
Do it. It did get a movement speed increase. It does move faster now.
Very correct.
There's Zhuyu holding the line. Look at him, he's hiding. Why would he be hiding? As we see Lockdar, he's holding the line versus Zhuyu. Phoenix is coming down. There it is. Frost Blast online.
Okay, where are we going to see those roots go down first? And are we going to see the Planet Cracker follow-up here coming in from XTQ? This game, ladies and gentlemen, has become all sorts of crazy, but oh boy, do we love ourselves a little bit of crazy.
This is going to be amazing. Once again, all enemies hit are going to be rooted by that Frost Blast. That's going to be pretty good, as we currently see the other level 10s for BTG. They actually had theirs online first. Good sundering for some disruption. That Cocoon could be pretty clutch here. The CE, despite being able to pick up those kills and get themselves back in the game, they're still not able to get any percentage onto this.
Tetcher, does Death and Decay actually splash on the Cocoon? No, it does not. Oh, it should, right?
I'm pretty sure it hits everything, including like minions and mercs, so it should hit the Cocoon and should damage that.
Okay, because then it is an amazing tool to actually pop that Cocoon in the first place. KTY, same old. He is dodging all those assaults every single time.
The isolation was a little bit early, but the rest of his team is coming in. Zhuyu, aggressive, but the Stormbolt is dodged. XTQ hovers around the side, dodges the Heradric Cube. And CE, well, they catch up top, but immediately, guess what? Blaze takes bot again.
All right. Quite a lot of abilities have been missing here up to this point on both sides. However, they are only short cooldowns now, with the exception of maybe the isolation. 30 seconds until that one comes back online. And you can really see how afraid, how hesitant BTG is to really commit to those plays right now, because they realize one false move, one misstep here, and they're going to get blown to pieces by Kel'Thuzad and his boys.
Kel'Thuzad currently assisting his team with the Mercs. BTG going for the aggressive wraparound. They're back for KTY again. But again, KTY is playing safe enough. So this is just going to turn into a quick push coming in for BTG. Although this is going to complete Regeneration Master. Here comes CE. Can they make something out of this? Good charge by Blaze. Here comes the chains landing. But Alufo now in danger for getting focused down. Here comes the Planet Cracker, not getting much value as Cocoon is dropped. KTY now in danger as he is turned on. There's the Cocoon.
Frost Blast.
So 365 is out. Frost Blast only lands on Deckard. It's going to try and allow them to turn around and kill off this bunker. But the bunker, too much health and too much damage as the Zerg wave is complete.
And guess who used Planet Cracker before? It was actually Phoenix, who hoped to make some plays happen. And now he's going to dearly miss his heroic ability there to really melt those Zerg waves with that big laser cutter. That was not the best team fight for CE, unfortunately. I think the Frost Blast did nothing. Just rooted Decker Kane all by himself, so no immediate AoE damage value. And also, a couple of Death and Decays actually went missing there for Lufel. For example, he missed one when he was aiming for that bunker. If you land it on the bunker, it's going to melt down significantly faster. So, unclean execution for CE. The question is, can they defend this Zerg wave right now, Tetra?
That's going to be a fort for nothing here. This Blaze will defend bottom lane, at least for the moment. Dahaka's burrowed down there just to get the experience. As Hyperion is burned, Stormbolt is complete. That is more good news, and good damage is starting to come out from Kel'Thuzad once again. But the keep will survive, but it's still, like we said, a fort for nothing.
And if only he had the Shadow Fissure, Alufil, that is. With that, which is a much lower cooldown than Frost Blast, they could have actually had kill potential with every single combo coming in from Kel'Thuzad. Whenever the chains land, whenever the follow-up route is good. Let's see, KTY once again outnumbered.
He's able to dodge all of the engaged tools. He's actually turning it round because once again, Muradin's on the way. Phoenix will be late, but he does have Planet Cracker, so he can just try the global engage once again. He is on the way. Scroll of Sealing does not land on Kel'Thuzad. Muradin dropping very low, but he pops the Avatar, but he gets turned on, and there's the kill. Lornado comes out, quick cocoon onto the Phoenix to remove that damage output. As here comes the Frost Blast, only getting throw. Great as Planet Cracker coming through. Bunker, though, is used to get in as Malfurion is taken out. It's a 2 for 0. Make that 3. And a fantastic fight by BTG.
BTG continues to reign supreme. Once again for CE, abilities are just missing. The Planet Cracker didn't even hit on that bunker. If that one had actually landed, all those low members that were hiding inside the bunker would have taken so much damage. But once again, Frost Blast was a little bit better. The Planet Cracker, not so much. If finally those tools start to hit enemy heroes, I think CE has so much potential, though.
But they're falling so far behind. It's at this point that they're already 2 levels behind. Level 16 is about to be hit for BTG, so they're going to have a talent advantage in time for the next objective. They have a boss already pushing in. They're even grabbing an extra camp to push even more aggressively here. And I don't know, dude, like CE are just having trouble getting into the position effectively. And their fights have just been a little bit messy, even under their own keep.
That is correct. Now, time is running out for Challenge here right now. They're being pressured left, right, and center. No matter if you look at the bottom or the top, there's stuff moving against them here. We see the entirety of Beyond the Game pushing in and de-pushing that bottom lane. The boss is marching towards that top lane as well, dealing a little bit of extra damage on that keep, which was already weakened earlier before. 16 is here as well, which means a talent advantage on the side of BTG. And look at that 16 choice, by the way, on Anubarak. The debilitation, I think it's called.
Debilitation is correct.
Yep, there we go. Trying to reduce the ability power on enemy heroes whenever they're hit by Burrow Charge. And that is exactly what they want to do on heroes like Kel'Thuzad, even like Phoenix, you know, if you reduce the Planet Cracker damage.
Chain link coming in for Kel'Thuzad, so more CC cooldown reduction on the chains of 5 seconds if both ends hit, if at least one hero is hit. But seriously, right now, CE, they are very much on the back foot. They're 2 levels down. They're a talent down. They're going to try and find some way to get back in. It looks like a blow-up gank might be the way. 365, thinking about being a bait. But will they fall for it? They hover past.
Oh, Juyu, he showed too early. And
everyone.
And that is the beauty of Beyond the Game's rotations here, by the way. They do not have one of their squishy ranged assassins, you know, rotating in first. You always want to have Blaze and Anubarak being close, getting close to those bushes before the squishy backline, so they won't fall victim to any of those Muradin engages. Now, here comes the Zerg wave all the way in the bottom. Planet Cracker probably needs to be used to keep those Zergs at bay. Can't be used in an aggressive manner during a team fight. Okay, there it goes. I was going to say.
Planet Cracker just deletes the Zerg wave. That is fantastic news for CE.
So huge.
Will seriously give them a much better defense now. But it's a big amount of damage. The Lufel is focused down. Lornado again. And this time, The Lufel is destroyed. Zhuyu in full retreat grabs the fountain. A Lufel, how long is he going to hold on to this phylactery? He might have revive if he is to come back, and he has to use it.
Has to use it, and there it is. Doesn't have the life lead anymore, but a good double root, actually, and strong damage coming into BTG. Now, the bunker is so good, dodging all those abilities, all those shots. Can they take that core, though, Tetcher?
Q. A Lufel does as much as he can, but he's finished off. Zhuyu and KTY are trying desperately to save this game, but BTG, they look healthy right now. They take out the final 2 remaining heroes, and beyond the game, take game number 1.
And they make it all the way to the core. We saw so many cool heroic abilities being picked on the side of CE, but in the end, it was all for nothing because Beyond the Game just had superior protective countermeasures, especially with that bunker, dodging abilities over and over and over again. So, we saw a lot of cool situational choices. We need to talk about another talent here real quick, I think, Tetcher, and that was the I think it's called Spirit Shield at level 13, 4th Thrall, the additional spell protection. And that made so much sense against the Lufel's KT.
It really did. They were able to tank through perfectly. The Lornados were good. And where was this BTG earlier? What was that? Come on. Seriously, where was that earlier?
I don't know, man. I mean, Beyond the Game, they just look so strong when they want to play, when they want to show up. And sure, their opponents didn't play a standard metacomp, so it was a little weaker on paper, but it could have definitely worked out, and CE is no slouch team that doesn't know how to execute those compositions. True, the Frost Blast is debatable. True, the Planet Cracker didn't always land where it needed to land, but still, if you don't play your A game against CE, they're going to dismantle you there. So Beyond the Game, it's just a hit or miss at this point. How can he lose to RPG 2-0 and then show up big time against CE and take this game without breaking much of a sweat?
I know. That is certainly unusual, but that's exactly what happened. That is